Welcome back to Ozarks Live. I am here with my friend Mike Stevens from over at the Moxie Cinema. Mike, how are you?
I am doing fantastic.
Love it, love it. All right, so we are almost the middle of September, and you guys always have amazing films showing each month, so I want to get straight to them. First up is Age Daydream, and this is a film that highlights the life and career that David Bowie had, so tell me a little bit about this.
I think one of my favorite blurbs about it was called it a cinematic odyssey. So this is by an interesting director that did a documentary about Kurt Cobain, and his style is less straightforward narrative and more immersive. So it's going to use a lot of never-before-seen concert footage, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff to really kind of explore his journey, not only through his life, but through his music. And that starts on the 23rd of September.
Okay, very exciting. Now, for fans of Bowie, because obviously he's been such a phenomenon and still really is today, even after his death, what will fans love most about this film?
I think one of my another favorite reviews said that it was mysterious, bombastic, overstimulating, very much like Bowie himself.
Yeah.
And so the review summed it up saying, like, this seems like the kind of movie that David Bowie would have made if he was still with us.
If he was still here.
That might be one of the favorite things I'm looking forward to anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think there's anything that will like surprise fans without giving away too much that maybe you learned in the film about him?
I think just the kind of normalcy of behind the scenes, you know, when he leaves the concert stage, he's no longer Ziggy Stardust, right? And so that 70s era prime Bowie, seeing him be kind of a normal person for moments behind the scenes is probably going to be something that people will take away.
Yeah, yeah. So overall, for fans of Bowie, you think this will translate well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you're a fan of Bowie, you must see this immediately, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Now, this other film, and this is really, really fascinating to me, Remembering the Normal Heart controversy, and this details the 1989 decision that the Missouri State Theater Department made to have the play Normal Heart on campus. Tell me about this.
Right, so this is when MSU was called Southwest Missouri State University, going all the way back to 1989.
Yeah.
And so they had this, The Normal Heart is a drama about the early AIDS epidemic and the politics of that, and there was local protests that got really heated, and that became a national story. So Springfield, Missouri was in the national news because of that. And this is a documentary not only about the protests, but about the the result of it kind of galvanized our local LGBTQIA community. And we're going to have a local producer that's going to be at that screening. We're doing a partnership with the library for it. It is free, part of their Preserving the Ozarks series.
Yeah, what a special thing to be able to watch and go back, especially just knowing how far we've come.
It's not long ago, 1989, and yet it seems like protests? Okay.
Yeah. Why do you think this film is going to be so important for people to see?
Well, I think just remembering that it isn't that long ago, and kind of marking that like this is something that seems out of character with Springfield now, and yet it was 1989.
Yeah.
You know? So it's always good to revisit history, ancient and not so ancient, just to remind ourselves of where we've come.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's a film that will definitely challenge people, and I'm excited to hear what people think about it. Okay, so the last film that we want to talk about is See How They Run. And I would describe this maybe as like a murder mystery type that's based in kind of 1950s London. What do I need to know about this one?
That is well summarized, yes. And it is a whodunit. One of my favorite things about it, it's a comedy as well. So it's going to be suspenseful as well as funny. And it takes a look at kind of London theater underground, not only the glitzy side, but the sordid side.
Yeah.
And the basic story is that a smash hit in the West End, which is basically Broadway in the UK.
Yeah.
It is being adapted to screen, and there's a murder. A crew member is murdered, and an investigation ensues. And Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan are the investigators. Kind of an odd pairing, and in a good way, and that's where a lot of the comedy comes from. So
yeah,
it's just going to be a fun watch.
Yeah. Now you named some of those actors. I feel like this is a pretty strong cast. Seeing what I saw, do you think the cast measures up to maybe their names?
Yeah, I mean, like it just seems like the kind of thing like Adrian Brody, who can do very serious, very brooding stuff. He's doing fun or lighter stuff that he does like with Wes Anderson sometimes. So, and Sam Rockwell is just like I mean, Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan are both very funny in their performances, and that's something you don't always see from them, especially her, and I'm excited to see what people think of her performance.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Okay, really fast, remind me about Moxie Mornings.
Yes, we just kicked off. These are free events for kids 2 to 6 and their parents, and they are Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Our first one was last Saturday. I think the next one will be the 24th, and it's every other Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Free coffee for sleepy parents, thanks to the coffee ethic.
Yes, that's fantastic. All right, remind people where they can find more information online.
Sure, MoxieCinema.com is always the best way to find out more about what we do.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. And for all of our viewers, go see a movie that you wouldn't typically see over at the Moxie Cinema.